Really.
Oh God.
Oh.
From him. They did experiments on him and then brought him back to Earth. He said this under hypnosis. Yeah.
Oh.
Thoughts?
I guess
I
that's like
mean,
a lot of alien abduction stories.
hmm
There are other ones like similar to that, the different types of aliens, right?
Yeah, there are different types of what describe it, even though a lot of people describe the grays that any alien abduction story that the grays. There's only the only that's where most alien abduction stories usually end up with that their takers were these great type aliens or alien contact stories. There's only been a few that's been somewhat different. Like I can point to, even I've pointed to this multiple times, the Kelly Hopkinsville encounter or the Travis Walton. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The Travis Walton um, experience he described when he was taken these blonde haired, blue eyed type aliens, really tall aliens. It's that's what he claims he was taken by. He didn't describe any grays. Well, at first he described grays, but later it was these tall humanoid like blonde hair, blue eyed alien type people. But there's been a couple of instances where, including this police officer, that claims that they've been taken by reptilian looking aliens, but there's only been a few. Even though most people point that this police officer's accounts are a hoax,
mm-hmm.
that he wasn't taken, he was just dialecting his duties.
Yikes.
Kim, you got any thoughts about that?
And being derelict in his duties. Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
It was
So
like
good.
he's supposed to be guarding the highway and keeping a lookout on the town, and you're probably getting
Yeah.
drunk off a hooch.
The hooch.
Oh,
So
man.
This is very
I think
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Oh God. But like we're making fun of it, but like there's some serious factors about this. Like there's people who believe it and ended up joining these cults and these gangs like QAnon, for example, and it's leading them to believe that JFK Jr. is going to come back from the dead and run for president. Well, run for and be Donald Trump's running mate in
Yikes.
2024.
and see that'll really spice things up though.
Yeah, that would put a
Like
new
we already had the
caveat.
Trump thing. That was like a whole big deal when it happened because he was so different since he was so brash and such a jackass, like an OC.
Yeah, yeah. Now just
But
imagine
now it's like, so how do you upstage that? And so
yeah.
maybe this is some got to
Yeah.
keep people interested in the electoral politics can get very boring because no progress is made.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. You can spice
to
that
get
up.
people
Shit.
interested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yikes.
that would be really spicing it up. He just shows up to the Republican National Convention and shows up with a uh been dead for freaking 20 some odd years who was a registered Democrat who was like, hey, we're here to fight the lizard people. What's to stop Joe Biden from bringing back the corpse of his father?
Wow.
or fucking even Abraham Lincoln. No, no, go as far as to go with George Washington.
Why,
Yes.
why,
Yes.
why keep it in this century?
Oh shit, we can go back. Fuck, bring back Queen Elizabeth the First. Shit, fucking
None of these are
shit.
people I want brought back, but I mean, it's
I don't
so
want
it's
any of these people
somebody.
brought back.
But it'll definitely, yeah, it'll get it interesting.
Bring back Jesus Christ, Caesar.
Hmm.
Yikes.
Fucking Tutankhamen.
When you
The
say people have like that and they join groups, what are they doing to fight back the lizard menace? Like,
Well, they're joining militias. Well, they're online mostly. They're on these chat boards: 4chan, 6chan, 8chan, Just Chan.
what progress have they made in pushing back the lizard menace?
They're pretty much saying they're making more people aware of this lizard menace, because you actually look at the facts is like what exactly are you doing against this lizard menace? They're like, we're educating people, we're pushing back so
What
people
is
know
that?
about this lizard menace,
Did they have
or
a way that they suggest the rest of us,
yeah,
push back
or
and fight? How do we stop the lizards? They
yeah,
don't have a
or
plan.
storm the Capitol. Oh, they did that. It failed. Sorry.
Wow.
Shit, they did. They tried that. Yeah, they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. The lizard people are still in charge.
Yikes.
I mean, they're joining militias. They're going out there and fucking joining militias, going out in the woods, and you see a 350-pound fat guy look at a 60 pound sack like he's in the military. Or they're sitting on their computer typing as hard as they can. Y'all heard of Cliven Bundy, right?
Yeah. I've heard of the
Yeah,
name.
Cliven Bundy.
Oh, that was the guy that he had to stand off because he
Yeah.
wanted to keep grazing on the government land.
Like saying that
Yeah.
that the government took his land and stuff, and he's a sovereign citizen.
A sovereign citizen.
Yeah. It's a bunch of goddamn stupid ass white people who fucking go around like the Constitution is not accurate. The Constitution doesn't go past one article. Well, no, excuse me, five sections of the Bill of Rights, and there's nothing else in it. They're fucking idiots. His
In
followers tend to
all
believe.
versions of this, it's either the U.S.
Yeah.
They're pro-constitution and it's their white nation, or there is no nation here and it's still their white nation. Like there's no U.S. That's not legitimate, but this is still our. It's just two different versions of the same BS, but okay.
Yeah. Well, most of his followers tend to believe in everything from the government secretly microchipping millennials to the vaccine against COVID-19 has also been a microchip to track everyone, to the United Nations running the Bureau of Land Management.
Wait, who's running the Bureau of Land Management? What was that?
The United Nations.
The United Nations. Okay.
So not the United States, the United Nations. So the representative for the government of Peru is having a hand in running the land management of the United States Bureau. Like the representative from Peru would give a fuck about the goddamn land management of the United States. I think most of the people who in Peru give a fuck about this goddamn United States military base being on their fucking property. But no, they're sitting here running the Bureau of Land Management, and also that they also believe that black helicopters are flying around doing training exercises to enslave the white race.
Oh, well, that might be true.
Yeah. Because I bought a bunch of black helicopters, and one day us colored folks are going to band together and take out enslave the white race. Why? Because it's Tuesday and I'm bored.
It's always nice to know about the many settler theories.
Yeah.
You can never have nice
things. Colonize everybody else. You get paranoid and it all,
Yeah. Like, hey, I figured, hey, they did it for thousands of years, hundreds of years. It's our turn. Let's colonize their ass. You know who else is a really big believer in the lizard people conspiracy?
Oh gosh, who?
Old friend, the head of InfoWars himself.
Oh,
Alex Jones.
Oh, he's actually believing. Oh.
Yes, Alex No Neck Jones is a really big proponent.
That's rough.
Big proponent. If you go on any of his don't go on any of his shows. Don't pay him no mind. But if you happen to go on his website, he's ranting about the lizard people. He's saying Barack Obama's a lizard people. He's saying your mama's a lizard person. He's
Yo,
saying
mama.
he's saying everyone's a goddamn lizard person. When he's not also believing that the massacre at Sandy Hook never happened. And then he gets sued and loses and has been running and ducking and dodging, going to court the whole time.
I think it's just, I guess, I didn't know he was a believer in that particular ideology of lizard people.
Yes.
I just know that, I guess, among some circles, like that he is popular, that somehow this guy is like major. I've just known his name for years. And so I didn't know that he was so all over the place with all of his many theories that he just believed everything. I think it's just interesting you can get that popular and be that bizarre.
Well, yeah, crazy is gravitated to crazy. So
that's true. That is true.
And I used to believe with Alex Jones it was all a gift. He really didn't care about this shit. He's just saying it so he could make a lot of money. I mean, that's a lot of right wing commentators. They're grifters. Like Candace Owens is a perfect example. This woman sued Harvard Law School to get in, claiming racial discrimination, and then a couple of people threw some money at her, and all of a sudden that the Democratic Party is enslaving black people, and slavery wasn't that bad, and the civil rights movement was bad. They're grifters. But Alex Jones, I think
many of the pundits. I mean, I think that's so much of it is grifting. I just thought you had, I don't know, sort of craft a certain kind of image with something like holding it together, like consistent, in order to stay relevant for a while. Possibly, I'm just overestimating people entirely. Like I might just be overestimating the audience entirely. So,
some people will overestimate the audience. Here, let me read this quote. This was written by a associate professor of social science at the University of Miami, Joseph E. Unskinski. He's the author of America's Conspiracy Theories and puts it, conspiracies are for losers. Conspiracy are for losers. People who are out of power use them to strategically close ranks to salivate their wounds. I don't mean it in a projective sense, but people who are out of power use conspiracy theories to strategically alert their side to danger, to close ranks, to salivate their wounds. Usilinski explains, think any election. The morning after, half the country says the election was rigged, and the other half is happy.
The other is happy.
Is happy. Because their guy won. He's talking about the 2020 election. The half that voted for Biden was happy. The half that voted for Trump was sitting there going, "It's rigged! It's rigged! The lizard people rigged it."
I don't know if that's what it's like most elections. I mean, there is a large group of happy, then a large group of sad. But I don't know about the whole rigged thing. That almost seems like. I mean, I guess I could be wrong. I know there's been times in the past.
No, he's not saying. Yeah, he's not saying that.
It sounds like every presidential election, someone says it's rigged, and I don't.
But someone. The 2020 was
a large group of people say it's rigged.
There was a significant group of people who says when they lose that the election was rigged, especially those who tend to be on the right side. The 2020 election was so different because there was such a large number of people saying it's rigged, and also the fact that the person who lost the election and everyone in his most of the people in his administration were also saying that it's rigged. 2012 is remember 2012, Barack Obama beat Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney came out and conceded. He said, "I lost." But there was significant people, not that many, significant, but it was significant group of people that are saying, no, this is rigged. This was rigged.